All right, so today's video is all about my 2023 goals. So I made this a little bit before the start of the new year. I've already been chipping away at it, but last year I made a goals video for accountability purposes. So that's the purpose of this video as well, is just to hold myself accountable. I saw myself with that video achieve a lot more than I had in all of my life when in regards to New Year's resolutions and goals. So coming at it again this year with just a little bit more organization, and hopefully next year another iteration and a slightly better video to come. But nonetheless, let's jump in. So as you can see on the top, not really a goal, but more so a word of the year, to help me align all of my goals. And that's focused. So for me, I've had side hustles, multiple businesses, and while balancing a job. And I've been doing that for quite some time, and it works to a degree. It works to a degree, but I'm at a spot now where I realize there is some sort of plateaus that you hit in certain areas. Not to say that you can't go past them, but what I'm thinking is I need to focus on 2 to 3 of these areas, and then eventually that will allow me to scale past and to start expanding that way. So for me, it's really about focusing in this year, and with that, I've broken up my goals into a few subcategories. So jumping straight into the goals themselves, you see Destination UX achieves 2 million in revenue. And Destination UX is me and my partner's business that we officially launched in August of 22. But we've been investing and managing short-term rental since 2020. And then we've both been working in real estate, me since 2018 and Natalia since 2019. So a lot of years of effort going into this, new business goal. But based on where we're at now and how the growth's going, and the fact that we're both going full time into the business now and not working, full time jobs, I think this is a realistic goal. Also, within the short term rental property management business, there's pretty decent margin. So that 2 million in revenue, there's going to be only a small sliver of take home at the end of that. Um, but nonetheless, good goal. I think it'll allow us to comfortably work full time, on the business indefinitely. And then you see right below, I have make 10K per month consulting part time. So, and parentheses 20 hours per week or less. So I've been doing social media management for a very long time. Went to school for marketing, and basically every job I've had, I've done some form of social media. And my partner Natalia, she is a much better eye and designer. So we figured that coming together on this and doing more of a consulting business on the side would be, a better way for us to take that leap of faith to focus on our business full time, while still giving us a little bit of safety net, and having that control of time over that safety net, right? Where if you have a safety net job, you don't have the control over your time as much. So that's a shift that we're making already, and we have about 30% progress to this goal already. So not too shabby there. And now below that, you see YouTube 10K subs. At the time of posting this video, just under 1,000. I was over 1,000 before, but really hovering in that range. And to get there, a video like this one and 250 other shorts are probably going to be how we get there. So yes, subs is more of an impact goal. I don't like to do those as much, right? But the 250 shorts and the 12 long form videos, I have complete control over, being able to produce those or not, or at least pretty good control. And then the blog, really similar story. It's only at like 50 people right now, but backlogging a ton of content as we speak for a good launch next week. And hopefully we get 12 marketing campaigns out for it, as well as 250 articles posted in the year. Just a lot of work that's going to be involved there. Not much else to add. And then if we scroll down, you can see the body. I have 10 minutes of daily exercise, 3 20-minute exercises per week. So just a little bit more intense exercises. And then eat well 90% of the month. So to me, I just define that as if I look at all the food that I consume in a given month or week, either or, I want at least 9 out of the 10 meals to be healthier, to not have deep fried foods in them, to not have high amounts of sugar or sodiums, any of that sort of like the sodium, the cholesterol, any of those things that really are, they're going to be bad for your body no matter what. That would fall into the bad for you category and not well. And so we really want to stay 10% and under on those types of food items compared to everything that we eat. And then lastly, wake up at 5 a.m. every day. It's a little bit of a body thing. It really helps me regulate in the morning if I'm just up early and able to get a head start. I feel like I'm a couple hours ahead of the people that are still sleeping. And the angst of maybe not being prepared for something in the day, I can work on whatever thing that is. And, that does a really good job at quelling my angst. And it's just, it feels good too, even if I don't have anything to get a walk in, to get, some little light things done, and coffee brewed. Feels really good. Um, but let's go over to travel. So travel is interesting because, you know, Natalia and I are moving a lot within the 2 to 3 hour radius of Portland for our property management business. But we really want to make it a point to travel, look at other Airbnbs once we grow this market. Colorado, Idaho are places we want to grow next. So with that in mind, we want to go to 4 real estate or tech events, just because we love helping people in tech invest in real estate, and vice versa. We love helping real estate people with their technology. So those types of events are awesome for us, and we have a lot to learn either way. So if we can go to 4 this year and kind of make it a business trip and have the business pay for it, that's going to be a huge win. Now, whether or not those are all out of state or not is yet to be seen or determined. I don't think we want to hard stop ourselves there, but I say that because the next travel goal is to play golf in 4 different states, and I think that would be a nice 2-4 to be able to get all that done. But uh, I separated them just because I want to allow for just a pure vacation trip where we go golf and doesn't necessarily have to be tied to a work event. And then vice versa, maybe the other way around. Want to go to more events and end up doing it all at different tech events, but we go to like 7. So that's the reason for that breakdown right there. And then lastly, bring at least 2 different family members on a trip. So I personally, and I'm not sure if anyone else notices with their own family, but there's a lot of people that in this world have a lot of self-doubt, and they hold themselves back from achieving or just doing some things that they'd actually think are fun. And oftentimes it just takes a little bit of a nudge or someone to be selfless for a moment and say, hey, like, come do this with us. That'd be awesome. And that's what I really want to do this year, is to show some of the family members either on my side or Natalia's side, like, hey, there is people out there that will just selflessly give to you, and they will do it without a care, and they'll do it consistently. So I think a vacation is showing and doing and proving a lot of that concept, and bringing a family member on that is, I personally think, kind of the nicest form of flattery and gift giving. Like I don't see a higher form of like respect and appreciation for someone than taking them on a vacation with you, right? That's like what everyone works their whole life to do, is to go on a vacation or retire and permanently be on vacation, right? So that's the reason for that. But going on to real estate, which is segmented from work a little bit, because there's an aspect of personal real estate, and there's also an aspect of just working in the industry at large and kind of just helping the real estate community. And for that, I love the idea of being able to send 10 successful referrals out to our partners. So for me, it's a lot of helping people get started investing and then send them out to different brokers and agents that are more focused on the day-to-day of real estate buying and selling, just because they're going to be more available, more quick to respond to different messages, and have a little bit more of an understanding of what's going on in the current market, the different trends that are available. Maybe know some of the resources out there. I usually help with the resources aspect in my calls, but outside of that, I best to give it to the people that are full time on those situations. And then once they've got the investment property and it's maybe a short term rental, then I come in and help them again with ongoing management, or maybe another referral to someone else that I feel would be better for their particular property. That said, I also want to invest in solar and EV this year for our real estate. So I am thinking for our personal real estate as well as for some of our clients. Both do a really cool job of saving money for people. So the solar cuts on the electric, which basically ties to everything these days, from smart home usage and even a hot tub, requires some level of electricity. And then the EV could actually be a money generator for you at certain properties, because you can get a little portion of the charge that they give to the users that are charging the car. So that's a really interesting thing to look at. And I think playing them both together, right? If the electric is not being charged, or we're making money through solar, and then we're able to charge for that free electricity, hopefully not too much, but a nominal amount, a fair amount, then the utility and the economics of the property both go up at the same time. So really interested to set up a lot of solar and EV plays at some small multifamily this year. And last but not least, for real estate, I want to get a new primary residence. Me and my lady have been downsizing consistently, and I think this year's likely going to be another downsize. So we're in a 3-bedroom now, and I wouldn't be surprised if we went to a 1 or 2 bed, just for a little bit longer. We don't have kids, and it's really about kind of building our foundation for ourselves, for our own future. So probably another downsize is in store, and then I think next house after that will just be close to a dream home situation where we can kind of build it ourselves. Basketball court, pool, whatever you want. Our goal is to build it on the land itself. um, and so that does real estate goals. And so last but not least, I have community. uh, this year, or the end of 2020, I was invited and joined both the local Rotary and the chamber in my city, and I couldn't be more thrilled with what is going on in those two organizations. I highly recommend them. If you're not a part of them or you don't know about them, go look into the clubs. Rotary is more community volunteer club, whereas the chamber is more of a uh, semi-city affiliated, semi-community volunteer business club, right? So they play really well together, and I've found that really it's a lot of selfless people in those communities, and a lot of them are business owners as well. So there's so much to learn from these groups. And then cherry on the cake is being able to just actually make a pretty good impact on your local community and give people food that need it and in your town. So highly recommend all that, and it prompted me to make a whole slew of goals for the year around community. So I've stepped in to do a lot of the social media for the chamber, and my goal is to get all of the social media accounts to over 2,000 followers. And then my goal is to also serve 100 hours of my time to the local community. If I get paid for the social media, that's not going to count towards that. It'll just be my actual volunteer hours for being an ambassador, or doing any sort of volunteer events. We'll count that, but we will not count anything I'm getting paid for. So I want to make that distinction. Um, and then you could see here, build 10 partnerships with local businesses. 1 of 10 already done, and a lot more ready to roll in the pipeline. So that's really exciting. I think I won't have too much problem with that. And then lastly, give $1,000 to the local people in an impactful way. Um, you can give money to people and then they go spend it all on cigarettes or liquor, and kind of defeats the purpose of helping someone in need if they don't themselves know how to spend it the way that it needs to be spent. And that's why I made that impactful way distinction, because um, sometimes it's just about talking with someone and thinking with them and kind of helping them and yourself discover what is probably the best way to spend that money for them. So it just takes a little bit more mindfulness and intention. But if you have that, I mean, you'll be able to figure out, one, if there is, another option that's really the best thing to help the said person, or if maybe you need to find other resources or someone else to help. Either or, just being mindful when giving is going to be able to help you achieve that, or help me achieve this goal, right? um, and last but not least, that does it for all the goals. How am I going to hold myself accountable? Well, my lady Natalia, I'm going to show her, I've already showed her this actually, and then I'm creating this YouTube video right now. That's part of the accountability on this, and I'm writing a monthly email to myself and Natalia about the progress. And then last but not least, I'm going to watch this video while I make the 2024 video. And that is going to hold myself accountable, or at least, punch me in the face for missing some things. Either way, this is what I do, and this was what works for me. These are also all of my goals for the year. So if anything was interesting, you had any questions about it, or you have some similar goals and you want to work on them together, feel free, reach out. Let's try and work and crush some of these goals as a team. Either way, I hope you enjoyed watching my video, and have a good rest of your day. Peace.